Hey, what's up everybody? Thanks for tuning into another video. In this one, I want to talk to you guys about therapy. At some point in everybody's personal development journey, there comes a time where things get difficult. And going at things solo can just be way too hard. We live with ourselves each and every day, so we're just too close to the problem to really see it for what it is. So we may need some outside help. Of course, it's really important to have a good, strong support system around you, your partner, your friends, your family, your community, and they can definitely help you with a lot of things, but there are some issues when you just rely on them. One, of course, they're not trained professionals. They can definitely have some insight that helps you out, but they're probably not psychiatrists or psychologists. Secondly, it may be a bit strenuous on your support system if you're constantly giving them more and more emotional labor. And thirdly, the most obvious, they're just not always there for you when you need them. They have lives of their own with busy schedules, work and school or what have you, so they may not always be available when you reach out and you need someone to talk to. So of course, a great solution is to find a therapist. Someone who is always going to be there for you when you need them and who has the proper education and experience to help you through some complicated issues. In my opinion, there are three big hurdles that prevent people from seeking therapy. First, you might just think that you don't need therapy. What you've gone through isn't that serious, you don't have any major trauma in your life, and you think your mental health is completely manageable just by yourself. Or you may think that therapy just doesn't work. You just straight up don't believe it and you would never consider trying it. And possibly the biggest hurdle of them all, you think you simply just can't afford it. So let's take a look at each one of these hurdles and how we can overcome them. So before I went to therapy the first time, I was of this first mindset that my life wasn't that traumatic, I never went through anything that serious, so I don't really need therapy. But once I started having sessions, I realized I was completely wrong. There was so much going on underneath the surface that I didn't realize that was really affecting my mental health. I had issues about my family and my upbringing, relationship issues, anger issues, substance dependency, depression, anxiety, and the list goes on and on. The thing is, most people who think that they don't need therapy most likely haven't taken the time to really dig deep down inside and uncover these unresolved issues. But instead, they use their energy dealing with all the consequences, constantly working on damage control and never really tackling the root issue. So if you are hesitant to trying therapy, just give it a shot and see what happens. I promise you that you'll be pleasantly surprised. So what about the people who don't think therapy will work at all? So there are lots of people, especially men, who think that therapy is just stupid. Maybe they were taught that it was wrong, or it's not masculine, or it's only for weak people, but these things just simply aren't true. There's absolutely nothing wrong with exploring your emotions. And if you're new to that kind of thing, having a safe space like therapy can really help somebody who spent their whole entire life suppressing their feelings and not confronting their issues. I think it's really important to help people come to this realization because having this mindset, ironically, only creates more trauma and more toxic situations that lead to the need for more therapy. And the longer you wait, the harder it gets. Because the longer you let these things build up inside you, the longer it's going to take to untie those knots. And the longer therapy takes, the more expensive it becomes. Which brings up the most common hurdle, money. So even if you think that you need therapy and you don't think that it's a stupid practice, you may still think that you can't afford it. I did therapy for 1 year and at $100 a week, the total cost was $5,000. This may seem really expensive to some people, and at the time it seemed expensive for me as well. I definitely had to be tighter on my budget and learn how to cut costs wherever I could. But after a few adjustments, I got used to the extra cost. I was bartending at the time, and I just got into the habit of taking $20 each day from my tips and putting it into a secret part of my wallet. And then by the end of the week, I had enough for my session. But even for some people, adjusting their budget won't be good enough. And for them, there definitely are some other options. Before I started paying for therapy, I wanted to try it out and see if it was right for me. So I took a look at all the websites for my local universities, and I found out that you can get a student therapist for free. So I found a really nice woman who was on the last 6 months of her degree, and she needed to finish her practicum before she graduated. So I got to be her patient, and I got free 1-hour sessions every single week. This was a really great opportunity for the both of us, and then when she graduated, I started to miss those cathartic 1-hour sessions. So I realized it was time to find a more experienced, paid therapist. I found an amazing online resource called psychologytoday.com. It's a great website where you just type in your city and it gives you a list of all the therapists that are close by. Their page will show you a little bio about themselves, their qualifications, what types of therapy they do, whether or not they accept insurance, which of course is another great way that you can save some money, and of course their rate. Most therapists operate on a sliding scale. For example, my therapist charges anywhere from $100 to $130 per session. So between the two of you, you can figure out what price you're going to pay based on a few factors. One of them being your income and what you feel comfortable paying on a weekly or bi-weekly basis. So during my first consultation, we talked about it and we agreed that I'd pay $100 on a weekly basis. But was it worth it? If I look back on that 1 year and think about what I gained for $5,000, it's really a lot. I was able to heal my relationship. I was able to come to terms with my upbringing and my family. I overcame my anger issues and depression, and I got sober. In my opinion, any single one of those things is worth $5,000. And quite literally, it's paid for itself considering the weed that I didn't buy this past year since. So yes, it's completely worth it. And if you ever feel like you're running low on money, you can always stop, and when you're ready, come back and start again. For me, I stopped after a year because I felt like I was making a lot of progress with a lot of my issues, but being so constrained with my money was starting to cause new ones. So I wanted to take a little bit of a break, but it's very comforting to know that I can go back to it whenever I feel like I need to. So whether you're going through a particularly difficult time in your life, or you have some past trauma that you need to deal with, or you just want to get to know yourself a bit better, consider going to therapy. Explore your options, maybe find a student therapist, check your insurance and see if you're covered for therapy, and find yourself a therapist whose scale you're comfortable paying. Don't let any of these hurdles stop yourself from achieving your full potential. That's it, guys. Let me know in the comment section how therapy has helped you on your journey, or what's been holding you back from giving it a try. If you're new here, hi, I'm Travis. I post videos each and every single week about my personal development journey, and I'd love to have some more like-minded people on the channel with me to be a part of the conversation. So be sure to subscribe and stick around for more videos in the future. Thanks for hanging out, you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.